Good evening and welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Tamiru Nimsat. Let's have a look at the headlines. Representatives of the front-running presidential candidates debate economic policies. Sri Lanka's merchandise exports surpasses $1 billion in July. News in detail. Samik Janabalawege Member of Parliament Dr. Harshad Silva said that proposals have been made to implement a special middle-class tax cut under an SJB government. The opposition MP said that the tax-free threshold of 100,000 rupees will remain the same, but only a maximum marginal rate of 24% will have to be paid up to about $500,000 rupees. Dr. De Silva said this during a debate organized by the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce at the BMICH earlier today, where representatives from 4 presidential candidates presented their economic policies.
We agree on the need to increase revenue to 15.4% by 2027 to 2029. How do we get there? While improving equity of taxation. Key here is digitalization. The RAMIS, the ASICUDA, excise, all of those things we will be looking at very seriously. And we will, and this has been talked about for a long period of time, to create a unified revenue authority. Registration of taxpayers, we heard that there are 1,100 or 1.1 million, but there's a lot of double counting. So we need to ensure that people are registered, business professionals, expand the net, increase compliance. But there is one major proposal, that's a middle-class tax cut. The tax-free threshold will remain. However, from there to close to $500,000 rupees, you will pay at the marginal rate, maximum marginal rate of 24%. And the rich will have to pay at 30 and 36%. We are not being irresponsible, we are being responsible because we understand the repercussions of striking out taxpayers. Several adjustments are proposed for corporate income tax for exporters. That is because of ideology that we need to remove the anti-tradable bias in our economy.
Elaborating on what President Wickremesinghe would do on the growth front in case he gets re-elected, State Minister of Finance Shehan Semesinghe said productivity increase will be prioritized as opposed to mere fiscal and monetary stimulus. He said that the Economic Transformation Bill includes a Productivity Commission through which the capability of local firms to penetrate the global export market will be enhanced. He also noted the upcoming free trade agreement with India under the ECTA agreement and agriculture modernization program are identified as crucial programs for sustained growth under President Ranil Wickremesinghe.
Where did Sri Lanka focus mostly? We focus mostly on fiscal or monetary stimulus than going in for productivity increase. So this is one of the key concerns we all had, and that had not worked well for Sri Lanka. Then secondly, we have already introduced new economic zones and also the new FTAs we are looking at. We have already finalized the FTA with Thailand to ensure liberal trade. We are also discussing and near finalizing the FTA with India, with the ECTA agreement. It will help us to grow the economy. And also, if you look at the ETA, the Economic Transformation Bill, this also have the Productivity Commission. The Productivity Commission will basically support productivity enhancement of firms seeking to penetrate to export markets and those facing import competition. We will also have a trade national single window process, which we are working on, which is need of the hour, and also a national tariff policy that strikes a fair balance between interests of exporters, importers, and consumers. Agriculture modernization would be one of the key sectors Sri Lanka our government will focus on.
Answering a question at the debate, Dr. Harshad Surya Peruma said that the National People's Power, led by Anura Kumar Dissanayake, has a plan to increase government revenue and sustain the debt burden. He said the NPP will formalize the informal economy, welcome foreign direct investments, manage the government functions in a cost-effective and corrupt-free manner, and reach an export revenue target of $45 billion by 2030.
The debt, the mountain of debt that you all have created, someone has to take the responsibility of discharging that one. So that is why, if you go through, take some time and read this document, you will find some of the answers, but I'll elaborate. So it's about preventing leakages from the government institutions, generate revenue by, according to the statistics from the banking sector, about 2/3 of the economy functions not in the formal economy. It's about bringing them into the formal economy on a gradual basis over a period of time. Allow them to take part in the tax-paying activities instead of approximately about the 40% who pays tax bears the full brunt of the calamity that we are going through. So gradually bringing in the informal economy into the formal economy, preventing the leakages from the state institutions by eliminating the wasteful expenses of the government. That is where our production economy, we have an ambitious target of 45 billion exports by 2030. So combination of those activities will generate the required revenue and the cash flows. Obviously, we have a lot of plans and products that are mentioned to invite Sri Lankans, overseas foreign investors to bring in FDI, to welcome FDI without asking commission. So we have a lot of plans.
Stay tuned. We will return after this short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. Sri Lanka's merchandise export earnings surpassed the $1 billion mark in July, pushing the total export value for the first 7 months of the year to over $9 billion. In July alone, merchandise export earnings rose by 6.58% year-on-year, also marked a 5.5% increase compared to June 2024, according to provisional data released by the Export Development Board. The growth in earnings was driven by strong performances in key sectors, including apparel and textiles, tea, coconut-based products, spices and concentrates, and seafood. In addition to merchandise exports, the estimated value of services exports for July 2024 stood over $293 million, representing a 16.44% increase compared to the same period in 2023. Total exports for June 2024, encompassing both merchandise and services, reached $1.9 billion, showing a 9.52% growth over the corresponding period in 2023. During the first 7 months of 2024, merchandise exports rose by 4.94% year-on-year to over $7.2 billion, while estimated service sector earnings increased by over 12% to $1.6 billion. The Cabinet of Ministers has approved awarding the contract for the rehabilitation and improvement of access roads to the Kandy Multimodal Transport Terminal Development Project to Maga Engineering Limited. Cabinet co-spokesperson and Minister Bandula Gunawardena said this, speaking at the post-cabinet meeting media briefing last week. The KMTTDP is a significant part of the broader Kandy City Development Initiative, known as Visal Mahanawara, which is funded by the World Bank through a loan of 30 billion rupees. Minister Bandula Gunawardena emphasized the importance of upgrading the access routes to the new transport terminal to ensure its effective operation. Gunawardena explains that the project received 10 bids through a local competitive bidding procedure. After a detailed evaluation by the Standing Procurement Committee, Maga Engineering was chosen as the most responsive and lowest bidder. The Cabinet subsequently approved the proposal based on the committee's recommendations. A 22-member Sri Lankan business delegation organized by the Trade Development Authority of Pakistan and the Pakistan High Commission in Colombo recently attended the Food Agro 2024 Expo in Karachi. The visit was facilitated by the Consulate General of Sri Lanka in Karachi and included officials from the Department of Animal Protection and Health and Trade Development Officer Asela Rangana from the Pakistan High Commission in Colombo. The delegation was led by Sri Lanka-Pakistan Business Council President Indra Kaushal Rajapaksha. During their visit, the group toured the expo, engaging with potential business partners and exploring various opportunities for collaboration. A key highlight was a high-profile meeting with Pakistan's Commerce, Industry and Production Federal Minister Rana Tanveer Hussain and TDAP Executive Director Zubair Motiwala. The Consulate General of Sri Lanka in Karachi also organized a session for the delegation with Karachi Chamber of Commerce and Industry President Iftikhar Ahmed and his management committee. The session focused on forming a joint business group, organizing trade exhibitions in Colombo and Karachi, and establishing a trade dispute resolution mechanism. Stay tuned for stock update. Trading at Clump Stock Exchange ended on negative notes today. The All Share Price Index dropped 37.83 points to close at 10,907.98, and the S&P SL20 dropped 25.77 points to close at 3,070.27. The turnover was 1 billion rupees and over 23 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. That's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care and good night.